Hello everyone, what's good, what's poppin'? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Caroline. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing 5 reasons why your lace is not melting and giving that what lace look that I'm serving over here on the screen. I'm going to show you guys how to take your lace from this to giving this. So with that said, sit back, relax, and let's get right into today's video.
I mean, honest with you, man, she's a
bad things, fine as hell, thick as fuck, oh my god, that's my baby, Caroline.
The wig that we're working with today is from Arabella Hair Company. This is their loose deep wave wig in 26 inches. This is a pre-bleached wig, so the knots did come pre-bleached. And looking from out of the box at first, I thought it was pre-plucked enough for me to just install it right out of the box. So I didn't do any customization for the installation, except I did realize later on while installing it that I did need to do more plucking. But if you're looking for a pre-bleached wig, this is one for you. Here, the wig does come with a loose, deep wave, pre-curled pattern, but I find these patterns to be unnecessary because as you see, right as I put water and wash it out, it becomes a nice, pretty, loose, deep wave pattern. As far as the wig construction, this is a 13x4 frontal. However, it doesn't have any clips or any adjustable straps in the wig, but it does come with a little section on the closure portion for you to install an elastic band, but that still doesn't properly make the wig feel secure in my opinion, so I did have to install my elastic band by myself. I will have a little review portion at the end of this video if you're wondering if this hair was worth buying, my thoughts on it, this and that. But with that said, let's get right into the main purpose of the video on how to melt your lace, or 5 common reasons why your lace is not melting. Starting off with reason number 1. Maybe you are not tinting your lace, and if you are tinting your lace, you're not properly tinting your lace. I find this to be like the first common obvious reason for why the lace is not lifting, because for the longest I would always just put my wigs on right out of the box, just leaving it up to the companies to get the lace shade right and have it melt into my skin. But I realized even if it's transparent, HD, whatever type of lace, I need to tint it with my exact shade to make it my color. And even when it comes to that, you still need to go ahead and get the right foundation shade that's going to work for your lace. So when I say I use my exact shade, this is a shade that like I put on top of my forehead where my lace is always going to be. I always like to test it out, let it blend on my head, and the foundation that melts the most into that forehead area of my head, that is a shade that I'm going to use for my lace. Now there's also a caveat to this as well. Let's say you have a lace that's kind of discolored and it's darker than you, then you don't want to use your exact shade. Now you want to use like something that's probably 2 shades lighter to help lighten the lace for it to blend more to your skin. I've heard a lot of people say they like to use lace tints and don't like to use foundation, but I feel like with lace tints, it's a manufactured color and it's not exactly to my shade. And I've learned with lace tints too, if I spray too much, it makes the pigment more darker. So I feel like it's just best for me to go ahead and use a foundation. I prefer to use liquid foundation versus using powder, because I find powder is just too airy, and when I press it underneath the lace, it gets all over the place. Also, I prefer to put the foundation underneath the lace versus over on top, and I prefer to do it before installing the wig because I just find that it's less bulky looking. I feel like when you have too much foundation or too much product on the lace, it makes the lace even harder to melt. So I just find that it works better to do it underneath and before installing my wig versus doing it over the lace after installing. It just melts better in this way for me. Here on one side, I did not tint the lace. I installed it with transparent lace right out of the box. On the left side, on the right side, I did tint it. As you can see, it's blending much more into my head and looks more natural. I don't have that white cast from that transparent lace. And you would think with it being transparent lace that it would be transparent, but I feel like transparent lace really just means it's like a lighter, doesn't have any pigment on it. And I think it works a lot better for like lighter fair tones who don't need the lace to have a bit of a light brown pigment to it. Common mistake number 2 that I see is people using scissors to just cut their lace. Nothing wrong with using scissors, but I mean you cut your lace straight up and down. I try to give an example of how I used to cut my lace, just literally straight across with blunt scissors, to show you that whenever you use scissors, it leaves this line of demarcation on the lace. And it's just like, it's like a wiggy look. It's hard to blend into your head and get that melted look whenever you have this straight blunt cross right across your lace. Instead, you want to go for like a more, if you have to use scissors, do an up and down cut on the lace. Like I did more on the left side, because I forgot that I needed to show you guys what not to do. But for even more better melted look, you want to get you a very sharp, fresh face or brow razor. I get mine from Amazon, a pack of 60, because I need them fresh every time, and glide that across the lace. And you see how just like, without even gluing it, I haven't glued it down yet, that lace is melting perfectly. There's no line of demarcation because it's like up and down. The lace is like a rock bumpy cut to it, which just makes it like melt flawlessly, or just a lot easier into your skin when it's not straight across with the scissors. Another reason why your lace is probably not melting is because you're one of those psychopaths who like to try to lay your lace down all in one go. Here I'm showing you guys what not to do, where you just cut the lace and spray it all down and just hope it sticks, and you don't even take your time to properly melt the lace, especially when it's a fresh install out of the box. I just find that to be crazy. When you don't take your time to work in sections and actually focus on melting each piece of lace, it leaves you with lots of lifting. It's probably going to have some lace bunching up, and it's not a clean look as far as this side where I did take my time to work in sections and melt the lace. Now let me kind of explain what I'm talking about. I really take a lot of attention to detail when it comes to melting down my lace. I work in sections, like I said. I work in sections because it lets me focus on each piece of lace that needs to be pressed down. And when I say press down, I mean I'm actually taking my time to press down on each little piece of lace. I like to use my blow dryer and a nice little rat tail comb to get the edges, that like last line of lace that touches your forehead. You gotta use that attention to detail and really make sure you are pressing it down. And I need to use a blow dryer to get my lace to melt. If you're one of those people who just uses guard, gravity, and elastic band to get your lace to melt, babe, it's not gonna melt. It might melt from afar, but it's really not melting. Well, as from my experience, that's what I found. So I just find it best to work in sections, spray the lace, and use that rat tail comb and blow dryer to just really press down each little edge of lace. And it's really not that time consuming once you get a hang of it. Because honestly, the way I'm able to just do this while working in sections and melting each piece of lace and get it all done within 30 minutes is a lot more worth it than me just cutting off the lace in one go and just slapping it all on, pressing it down, and hoping it's gonna lay. And it's not gonna lay, and I gotta waste my time more to reinstall it and troubleshoot. So take your time and invest on paying attention to each lace in detail to get it nice and melted, as we see here. Now this one is a bit of a post installation, and it's something that I recently have been learning myself because I'm having this problem. If you've done all the steps I've done, you've melted it, you've used everything, like you've done the steps, and your lace is still looking a bit funny and it's not melting and it's just more noticeable for some reason, it's possibly because you have knots left behind. When I say knots, you see those little tiny black dots that is like on my lace. There's no hair, it's just like those little tiny black dots. Those are the knots that are left behind because you didn't pull those knots fully out the roots. Whenever you leave knots behind on the lace, it kind of like, especially like on the edge of the lace where it needs to melt the most, it just makes it look dirty and just a lot more noticeable. So what I have to do sometimes is take my tweezers after and just really pull those tiny little black dots out the best that I can. Now to really help finish off the whole melted look, I'm going in with that brow razor again to kind of cut off that straight line I had there. Here I'm also trying to use the razor to kind of like razor off those dots that I couldn't grab. And the last thing I said, I know a lot of you guys are probably not doing, or maybe don't know how to do, or know that you should do, is you're not doing a finishing melting spray on the lace. Because especially after styling or doing a touch-up like I just did, after you will get some like lifting on your lace, and it lifts, it can leave like a little bit of a white cast. Just a little line of the small amount of lace lifting just leaves this weird white casty type of look. So you just need to go in and do a little dab and spray one more time over the lace just to help lock in that melted look. And I go back in again with something flat with my blow dryer and press the edge of the lace where it meets my forehead and where the lace meets my forehead, and I just press that all down. As you can see already from before when the clip started to now, that lace is what melted, like what lace Here we are, the final result. Of course, I did put that elastic band on to get it fully melted, but I feel like at this point we all know about that elastic band method to melt your lace. But I had to come outside to show y'all that it's really giving wet lace, because the sun is going to tell the truth about you and your lace, okay? As you can see, it's definitely giving. And here's me with my iPhone camera, because my filming camera does have a bit of a light filter on it, so I want to give y'all no filter effect. But with that said, like I always say, a wig is still a wig, lace is still lace. And if someone's pointing out your lace, it means she's too close and needs to back up, because you've done everything that you could to get it to melt. But Whew, Lord, y'all know I get so hyped on these voiceovers. But with that said, I'll see you guys in another one. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And peace out, Girl Scouts. Goodbye.